to our Thursday morning HIIT class. Today we're going to be doing a lower body gauntlet. So similar to last week, we did an upper body gauntlet. That format is all wrong. So I'm just going to go to the exercise screen there. So what we have here is, what is that? 260, 320, 390 reps of lower body exercises. Doesn't matter what order we do them in. We just want to get them done. And that doesn't mean you need to do like 60 leg raises. No, that means you can do, you can break it down into 5 sets. You can do all one of exercise. You just sort of mark them off as you go along. So without further ado, we'll just sort of get into our warm-up. So I'm just going to go into our side leans here. I step off to the right, and then I shift my hip into that lead leg. So it's not so much a lunge, but I shift my hip so I'm keeping that trail leg planted, and I get a good stretch in the groin. This workout can be done, you could be joining me live, you could be doing it on YouTube, you could just be writing down the exercises and doing them throughout your workday, right? You could do it all at once, or you could take 5-6 hours to do it, just breaking it down into sets throughout your day, right? And it just shows that doing 5 reps, 10 reps here and there can really add up. We go into our hip hinge, so I push my hips back, curl my hands in front of my legs. And why I say this can be done by any fitness level here is because I will offer modifications. Hips to the left, lean to the right. Hips to the right, lean to the left. I'll offer modifications, so depending on if you're a more advanced exercise beginner, you can sort of choose there. And this time I'm pulling back on my right fingers, arms overhead. And we're going to do that 2 more times. This time, instead of stretching our flexors, we're going to stretch our extensors by pushing down on the wrist, or more on the knuckles. And 1 more. Cat always leaves when I do exercise videos. I don't know if he feels guilty or if he's just trying to give me space. And we'll do our standing twist. So I'm going to step forward and then twist that same side. Just like with the side lean, it's not so much a lunge, right? Just trying to get some muscles involved there. The biggest recruiting will happen on the kickback. 1 more on each side. And we're going to do 1 more. So you can do these 2 ways. You can either do these seated with our dynamic pitch-in, so you can either switch legs, crossing, every time you lean forward, you lean back and you switch, or you can do these on the ground. High plank position. I go down into that low plank position after I cross that leg in front of me. Front. Without further ado, we will get started. I'm just going to pop up this box so I can edit these as I go along. As always, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to leave them in the comments. And I'm going to break these down as I normally do, is I'm going to try to do them in 5 sets. So I don't think it's going to take very long for me to do this. But like I said, you know, it's still close to 400 reps of something. It's going to be a workout. I guess I should demonstrate everything. So our squat jumps, we're going to push our hips back, bend our knees. Then as we come up, we're going to jump and then just land softly. If you don't want to do impact exercises, you know, we're still going to do that explosive calf raise part of it. And then we're just going to sink back down into our squat. Our lateral step up, we did these in the beginner circuit. Good exercise. You can just get one foot on, step up. You don't need to bring this foot down, right? So I can just continue to work throughout. If, you know, you don't have a step up, the modification for this one's pretty easy. We're just going to go with that high knee on one side. If you want to add a little something to it, you can do like a lunge, high knee. That's a suitable replacement. Glute bridges. We're on our back, feet close to our bum. Push our hips up, hands on our sides, and then down to the ground. Nice straight line at the end. If you want to make these harder, you can do them single leg. You could bring your feet out a little further. That makes them a little harder. Fairly beginner exercise though. So the glute bridge, that's why we're doing 100 of them. Our leg raises, still on our back. Straight legs, lift up. My hamstrings are really tight. And then if you want a more beginner version of that, knees are bent, and we're just bringing them towards. All right? And then lastly is our mogul hops. So all we're going to be doing is jumping, you know, get in this sort of athletic ready position. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. If, again, you don't want to hop, we're just going to get into that quarter squat position. Step, step, step. All right? Again, from the side, it's that athletic position. Okay, so now this time we're starting for real. We're going in 3, 2, and 1. Hopefully my timer works this time. We will see. Hey! These are going to be the toughest exercise by far. Are those squat jumps. You might find that you want to switch around the order. Again, you don't need to be doing these with me. You could leave me in the dust. You could be taking extra time. You might find that the lateral step-ups after the squats, or the squat jumps, I should say, are extremely challenging. And you also might notice me not changing any of the reps just yet. Usually I wait till I've done all 5 exercises. Another important thing that I didn't mention is you rest when you need to. I may have mentioned that, but it's worth mentioning again. Okay. Our leg raises. I try not to let my feet touch the ground on these, and I find it really engages my core. Then our mogul hops. get into that athletic position. Oh, there's a couple extra ones there. I'm still going to count them. That's not 605. Okay. So that's usually how I break them down. And then I have a little bit of rest there. I will show you guys a round of modified. This will probably be the only round of modified I do. Just so that everyone has a reference point at where they're starting. For our lateral step ups, like I said, I could just be going into this knee drive. You could be adding a little lunge to it if you want. Yeah, I'll show you like this. Or you could just be doing like I said. Okay. Movement bridges don't really change. But I'll show you the harder version with single leg. And the leg raise essentially becomes the reverse crunch. Knees are bent. Same principle of not touching my feet to the ground, though, just as close as I can. Keep the back on the ground. Engage the core. If you're being punched, about to be punched in the stomach. Ooh. Vocal hops. Okay. All right, so 3 more rounds to go. We're just going to go right back into our squat jump, hinge the hips, bend at the knees, chest stays lifted. Sink into your landing to absorb some of that force. Nice quiet landings. Step ups. And just keep that foot planted on that surface. Step all the way through to full extension of that lead leg. And I always break these down evenly, but you don't have to. You can get something out of the way if you don't like it. You can be doing these in any order too. Like I said, those squat jumps or those lateral step ups after those jumps can be quite challenging. Oh, yeah, and our leg raises, I just stay on the ground. Straighter your legs are, including pointing your toes towards your chins, I guess chin as well, makes it more challenging. Mogul hops. Could have probably added more of those to the workout, but it's okay. It's okay to have one easy exercise. All right, 2 to go. Nice soft landings. Take breaks when you need to. Yeah, this is for time. So I like these because it teaches you sort of what your rest thresholds are, how much rest you actually need, how many reps you could feasibly do in a set. You know, maybe you're trying to do this in 4 instead of 5. Maybe it takes you 10 instead of 5. Learning what those thresholds are for you. Make it so that you can push yourself a little bit more if you want. But we always want to be improving. It's always nice to push yourself once in a while. It's the sky, and then just barely touch softly to the ground to keep those glutes engaged. When our leg races. The legs are starting to get heavy, but I know how close I am to that finish line. And when I mean starting to get heavy, I mean starting to reach that point of exhaustion that are heavy after round 1. But now they're getting real heavy. All right, mogul hops. 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Okay, last round we're just going to knock everything out. Should be done in under 15 minutes, which is perfect. Exactly what I was thinking. I'm using my arms here to generate a little bit of momentum. And what I find that helps me do is keep my legs going when they're tired. If I keep those arms moving, my legs follow. Because in this last round, I know how you're feeling. You know, in these last couple reps, I know how you're feeling. I don't want to die too. But we just keep on pushing through because we know we're doing something good here. We know we're almost at the finish line. So keep pushing. Even though your muscles are aching, If your joints are aching, you might want to take a look at those. See what's going on there. But if your muscles are aching as much as mine are, and I know you want to quit, we just keep on pushing ahead because we know we're almost at that finish line. Sometimes I just talk to myself because in my mind, says you can't do it, you want to quit, just take a break, you know. Nobody's going to judge you for taking a break or quitting. But if I talk myself through it, it takes my mind away from those negative thoughts. The human body is an incredible thing. One more just in case. Now we're on that last exercise, which is relatively easy. And those mogul hops. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Okay, all done. Just like that. Under 14 minutes, actually. I like to mark these all a 0 because it is cathartic to me. We'll just stop that timer. Oh, what happened there? Okay, so I'm just going to start on my chair because it's here. I'm going to take my left leg, I'm going to cross it over. I'm just going to do my seated pigeons, leaning forward. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. Like, you know, I honestly love those workouts because it pushes yourself to do a little bit more, but more so for me, more so for me is, like I said, it really challenges that rest principle, and it makes me think, you know, do I need as much rest, or do I need as much rest between sets? Oftentimes, and you know, I see it a lot working in the gym, is people take too long rests and they're on their phones. And sure, they might be a little tired, but you know, as professional experience, I know they're able to go again. All right, toe pointed towards, leg straight, toe pointed towards your shin. And we're just going to lean forward. I'm going to show you the other side so you can see it a little better. First, and I'm just leaning forward towards this. This is a very modified hurdler stretch. I don't normally, you know, do the hurdler stretch, but just try to hinge from the hips to get that stretch from the hamstring. Why I don't normally do it is because you're rounding your back at the top, but from a seated position, it's not too bad. We'll switch sides. And you should be feeling this in your hamstrings and in your calf. So pretty much the whole entire back of your leg. And we're going to go into an incline position, or an incline plank position. We're just going to drop our heels back. So you're pressing those heels into the ground, feeling that stretch. A little bit more sturdy at the base of the chair. If you really want to work those abs, use the chair handles. As long as your chair doesn't have wheels, it should always start with that for the step-ups and things, etc. And if you have a pillow, you want to use it for your half kneel hip flexor, you're more than welcome to, but we're just going to go into that half kneel position. I've taken an extended step forward. See, this is kind of half kneel, extended step forward. I'm going to push my hips forward. My right leg is down, so I'm going to bring my right arm up in line with my ears, keeping those hips pushed forward. Nice and open in this torso, and I've really created a stretch in my hip flexors there. We're going to switch sides. Show you from the front. Don't get this angle. Graduated step forward. I push my hips forward as much as I can. My arm is in line with my ear. See this nice open torso here. All right, and then we'll stand up. I'm going to do the door frame stretch because I always like to throw it in. Twisting from the top. So my arm is at a little bit below shoulder height. I'm just grabbing onto that door frame so I can twist and open up my chest. And we'll switch sides. That's why you can't see me as well, so I apologize. If you don't have a door frame or something where you can do that, you can always do the handcuff stretch by grabbing the wrist behind, bring the shoulders back and down. I'll just try blocking out that light. Shoulders back and down. Nice, proud Superman chest. And then we'll just finish off with some upper trap neck stretch. So I'm going to go right ear to right shoulder without elevating the shoulder, so the shoulder stays down. I'm going to try something a little different. We're going to grab that left arm behind the back, just like so. It's too much time on that side, so we're going to go left ear to left shoulder. So elevating that shoulder, then we're just going to grab that arm behind. All right? All right, then we'll point our chin. This guy, you can see how bad I need to shave. Chin to the chest. Look all the way to the right. Look all the way to the left. And just sort of one circle one way, one circle the other way. Shake it out. That is all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed that workout. If you didn't, or if you did, please leave a comment, saying what you liked about it, what you didn't like about it. But thank you for joining me. Don't forget to sign up for Get Out, Get Active if you haven't already. We also have a webinar coming out on the 21st for, that's next Wednesday, or this upcoming Wednesday, I should say, for eating more vegetables and fruit in the summer, how you go about doing that, where you go to find those. And until next time, guys, it's been a pleasure, but I'll see you then.